I think that moves us smoothly, speaking of Tarek Skubal, into our badasses of the first half. Pitchers. Last week we did our position players, went around the diamond, and listed all those. You can check that out on our YouTube page. We've got a video dedicated solely to that. Uh, we did not do our pitchers yet, but I think that's fine. The All-Star game hasn't happened. First half just went by last week, so I think we're still in a good time frame for that. So I went through and looked at the stats of the 5 teams we cover here and looked at the rotations. And boy, oh boy, we could put together one hell of a rotation if we combined our 5 teams. That, and I took a look at our relief pitchers, the top of the list. So I sent you a list of several starters. I think you and I can determine what our starting 5 rotation would be based on that, and that's the order I sent them to. Is what I would put it in, but that's certainly not what we need to conclude with. But
yeah,
what's your list over there saying?
All right, I'm gonna start off with my my entry that was left off the list.
Oh yeah,
and we were just talking about him, Adrian Hauser for the White Sox, and we're doing this based off first half, so we're not going to include the most recent games, everyone.
Oh, yeah. I pulled the stats last week when we were planning on doing this, and then we had technical issues, and I did not feel like redoing the stats. So, and plus, that was really literally the first half.
Yes, exactly.
Pulled those stats, so I think it rings true.
Yeah. So for the first half, which for the White Sox, he was a late signing, so he didn't even play the first month.
He didn't pop up on my list because I was looking at first I'd start with strikeouts, and he's low on the list just because he doesn't have the innings. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think he's worthy of being in this discussion at least.
42 2/3 innings, 31 strikeouts, 1.91 ERA, and a 1.17 WHIP.
Yeah, I think that's only gotten better.
It has. Speaking of not that many innings because he got hurt, but is awesome. Shota Imanaga. 15 innings pitched, 37 Ks, 2.54 ERA, and a 1.03 WHIP.
Yeah, I mean, he returned last week like he hadn't skipped a beat. His innings are going to be a little bit limited going forward because they need to take care of that hamstring. But I mean, Shota is Shota. He's been great ever since he's come to Chicago. So also a fun personality. How many people did I put on my total list there for starters?
6, and then with mine 7 total.
So those would be numbers 6 and 7 on our list. So now we're getting to what I would think would be the top of the rotation, but I could add in either of those guys if we want.
Casey Mize, 79 innings pitched, 69 Ks, 2.86 ERA, 1.12 WHIP.
Those numbers haven't even improved from there. So yeah, he's had a few injuries that haven't kept him out long term, but he's just been great. He's been, kind of mediocre in his career, being drafted 1-1 overall by Alavila back in the day, 2018, I think. So this is he's finally kind of living up to the potential that we've heard about all along. So it's great to see. You just gotta keep him healthy.
Matthew Boyd, 99 innings pitched, 87 Ks, 2.65 ERA, and a 1.08 WHIP.
Just announced last night that he has made the All-Star team for the first time in his career. He's kind of been a journeyman. He was with the Tigers for a long time and just never really put it all together. Last year was kind of a reclamation project in in Cleveland. And, I thought that it was kind of a small sample size because I believe he was hurt the whole first half last year and came in the second half and was great with the Guardians, but they didn't hold on to him. The Cubs picked him up. So I wasn't expecting a ton out of him, but he's having the best his career year. I think he's in his mid 30s. And he's an all-star. So, from all accounts, a really good guy. Like everybody loves the guy. So it's a cool story.
Robbie Ray, who we've talked about before.
Former Tiger as well.
Former NL Pitcher of the Month this year. 98 innings pitched, 110 Ks.
Yeah.
2.75 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. I think the next 3 are shoo-ins.
Yeah, I think he needs to make a rotation.
Logan Webb, 114 innings pitched, 127 Ks, 2.61 ERA, and a 1.14 WHIP.
Kind of good.
Yeah, kind of good. And then the aforementioned Tarek Skubal, 109 innings pitched. Oh, he could only squeeze out 138 Ks in those 109 innings. A 2.15 ERA.
Oh my God.
And a .83 WHIP. Oh, almost one. Do better, dude. I'm not sure. He's the one who's on the fence for me.
Yeah. I've got to look. I just mentioned the Triple Crown that he won last year. I'm not sure that he's first in ERA at this point. I got to look.
Qualifying innings. Yeah, I'm not sure either.
We should look that up. But I think he's got to be in strikeouts and whip, and he's ridiculous. As good as he was last year, he's better this year. We talked earlier about how few walks he has for the season based versus strikeouts. It's ridiculous. He's the best pitcher in the world right now. So I think he's got to top our badasses of the first half rotation.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to make a little argument for Adrian Hauser and at least having one White Sox player on the goddamn.
Yeah, we got to get a White Sox in there.
But here's why. Here's why I'm going Hauser over Mize and Imanaga. Is Hauser averages 6.6 1/3 innings pitched per start. Mize and Imanaga average just over 5 innings pitched per start. Now
that's such a huge thing. Like every day when I'm watching the Tigers or Cubs, I'm dying beyond fantasy implications because we have quality starts as a stat.
Yes.
It is so huge to get your starter through 6 innings, and it seemed to be so much more commonplace when we were kids or growing up. It is an anomaly now, and that's why I value the quality start stat where some don't, because it eases the burden on your bullpen so much. You only have 3 innings to cover, so to get through the 5th, into the 6th. Into the 7th, whatever you're doing to eat up more innings and give up fewer than 3 runs is massive. So that's a great argument for Hauser.
Yeah, that's my argument for Hauser. I mean, obviously his numbers are are better in ERA, but
yeah,
he's also pitched a few less innings. Him and Imanaga are close inning wise, but Mize has got more innings. But
how do you compare let's compare directly Mize and Hauser. What are their ERAs and WHIPs?
Okay, Mize is a 2.86 ERA. Hauser is a 1.91 ERA.
Wow. Okay.
And the WHIPs are 1.12 for Mize and 1.17 for Hauser.
I think that plus the controversial All-Star game idea where every team has to be represented. I will. This, I think we can carry that tradition on with Major League A-holes. I think we need to have a White Sox on the roster, and put him as the number 5 in the rotation is certainly worthwhile.
All right. So do we just go with this can be easy. We can just take the top 4 from the list. I have no.
Oh, are we talking about relievers?
No. Then the starting rotation would go Skubal, Webb, Ray, Boyd, Hauser, right?
I think so.
Those are 5, right?
Okay. That's how I would put it. Yeah. So
cool.
You convinced me to move Mize out of the 5th slot.
Yeah. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to confirm.
Yeah. Peace and harmony on the podcast.
Look at that. It's funny though. Funny thing about this conversation right now is for everyone listening out there, we were doing this podcast. If podcasts were a bigger thing and as easy to do as they are now, like let's just say 10 years ago when we were doing this would not be a conversation anyone would want to be listening to right now, because we were both a little more passionate in not constructive ways. And I feel like it would not be as logical as it is today.
So you're saying we've matured now that we're in our fucking 50s?
Yes. When the 40s weren't good enough, it took to the 50s. Because I'm seriously, like I just sometimes think about the conversations you and I have. And it's funny because I think about the conversations we used to have and could have been the same exact topic and would have gone sideways.
Here's an argument for our maturity versus our immaturity. The big difference 10 years ago is we weren't doing a podcast. We were just blogging or talking shit on social media, which is very easy to get big muscles as keyboard warriors and
True.
just say outlandish things that we would never say to each other's faces. But with this podcast, I'm forced to look you right in the fucking face and say the things that I'm saying.
That's right,
I think
motherfucker.
that's brought an element of humanity that probably the whole world needs to embrace as well, and do less online and more face to face, because it makes you accountable for your actions and words. So I think that's where we're at. We're hoping to save the world here.
We are one
So to speak.
podcast at a time.
Exactly. So you're welcome, world.
All right. You got to add some like music in the background when you're doing that on post production as you're giving that speech.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I'll think of something.
We'll think of something. All right. Relievers. We have a late entry on this one too. All-star candidate from the San Francisco Giants, rookie Randy Rodriguez, who
I did not know who that was. I apologize. He's a rookie, so that I guess that helps me a little bit. But
yeah, he doesn't have like what MLB considers the traditional stat categories. He's got one save.
Well, yeah, he's a middle reliever. He's not your closer. So I had your closer on the list, but I didn't have Randy Rodriguez there. So, but he's got impressive numbers, and he made the fucking All-Star game. So
yeah, 39 innings, 54 strikeouts, 0.69 ERA, a whip of I had it here, whip of 0.77. His K rate is 37.2%.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty high. So
so is he pitcher your 8th inning or what? 7th, or I guess leverage?
Yeah, he's all over. It's all over he's all over. Kind of.
You have a smart manager.
Yes. All right. So that was another late entry. From the Oakland Athletics, Mason Miller.
Former Lansing Lugnut.
17 saves, 52 strikeouts, but he has an enormous ERA of 4.55.
Yeah, he's gotten hit hard. I think that fucking Sacramento ballpark is bitten him in the ass. But how many innings pitched and with 52 strikeouts?
We don't have innings on this list.
Oh, I didn't write the innings pitched. Sorry. But it's a lot. He's got more strikeouts than anybody on the list, I think.
Yeah, he does.
That ERA is crushing him.
Yeah, the ERA is not good. So we'll have to have that in deep consideration.
Yes.
Daniel Palencia from the Cub, 9 saves, 35 Ks, a 1.80 ERA. That's what you want to see out of a reliever. And a 0.97 whip. Not only is he not letting runs in, he's not letting them on base.
Gasolina. He's a beast. He throws 102. When he's going right, it is a thing to behold. So far he's been going right.
Speaking of someone who's turned it around from last season and going right, Camille Doval for the Giants, 17 saves, 35 Ks, 2.70 ERA, probably a little high for a closer, but in a 1.15 whip. And then some guy named Will Vest. I did that.
Yeah, I know.
13 saves, 42 Ks, so only 10 behind Mason Miller. Probably because he's had less save opportunities because of blowouts. 2.37 ERA and 0.95 whip.
Yeah. Will Vest is the de facto closer. I don't think AJ Hinch has ever called him the closer, but he always happens to come out in the 9th or whenever he's needed most.
So we are picking 3, right?
Well, do we want to pick our closer and then maybe 2 middle relievers that we would? I mean, even if they're technically closers now, they would be our 7th and our 8th inning guys.
Yeah,
that's a way to do it. Who's the ultimate relief pitcher from that list, or ultimate badass?
Yeah, this is where it gets tough.
It is,
and I'm going to tell you why. I honestly think, I mean, from what I've ever seen him pitch, like probably the sickest pitcher on this list is the one with the highest ERA, and it's Mason Miller.
Yeah, he throws 103 routinely.
Yeah, I mean, the dude has electric stuff.
He's going to be a very hot commodity on the trade market. He might not be suffering from pitching in that tiny ballpark in Sacramento for much longer.
Right.
So it'd be interesting if teams are just completely throw away his ERA stat and look at everything else he does. But yeah, he's got wicked stuff. How many actual saves does he have for the A's, who are a last place team?
17 saves
It's
for
still a lot.
Yes, that's a lot for their. I mean, put Mason Miller on perhaps the Tigers or the Cubs. I mean, or on the Giants even. Like
no, let's not do that. Let's do Tigers or Cubs.
I mean, it's just different. It's just he's probably got 24 saves and a 2.7 ERA like Duvall.
Yeah.
So
I like that. Let's make Mason Miller our fucking closer, badass of the first half closer, the elite. I could see Will Vest. I mean, the way they use it.
Exactly.
He comes in the 7th or 8th, however you need him. My God, that I think he's got to be there. So that leaves one slot.
Well, and I think that then goes down to how long has Palencia been pitching?
He didn't come onto my radar until like 2 months ago. So I mean, he's been around, but I don't know. So we've got 2 Giants and a Cub. Is that what we have left?
Yeah, and here's what I would I'm between Palencia and the guy we'd even have on the list, Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I'm removing Duvall from the conversation.
Okay.
Because he's going to continue. I think he's going to continue to. His numbers are going to continue to increase. It's just what happens with him.
Yep.
But I was going to say, if Palencia is a little bit more of a veteran presence, then I would lean that direction
over the rookie.
Yeah, over the rookie, because the rookie's going to have his ups and downs. So, I mean, Palencia is 25, so he's probably not a rookie, but
you have his career stats.
I'm looking that up right now.
All right.
Yeah, he's pitched in 67 games overall and 30 games this year. So
so he's got last year.
He's been around. He's actually pitched for the Cubs since 23.
Okay.
Looks like they used him as a starter originally back in 23.
I don't remember that.
Probably in September or something.
Okay.
Then 24, he was out of the bullpen and he was horrible. 6.14 ERA in 10 games.
Well, he was hurt also, so maybe that was part of it.
But he's come back like a beast. I mean, 31 and 2/3 innings pitched. 1.71 ERA with the K's. I mean, I think he's the last guy we put on the list.
Okay.
35 strikeouts over 31 and 2/3. I mean, that's pretty good.
That is one hell of a bullpen we just put together.
That is. We have a starting staff that I think can compete against the Dodgers. Because that seems to be the benchmark.
Actually, the Dodgers starting rotation is in shambles, but
I know.
they keep winning. But
fuck the Dodgers.
Fucking Dodgers. Well, I think that was great. That was an excellent exercise. That we have now completed our badasses of the first half, both offensively and in the rotation and in the bullpen.
That's right.
Word Hole Media.